I'm Paula Gilbert. I'm the editor of Connecting Africa, and I'm here at MWC Africa in Kigali, Rwanda, and I'm here with Peter Ndegwa, who's the CEO of Safaricom. It's great to see you, Peter.
Great to meet you, Paula, and great to interview with you.
So we know that Safaricom is the biggest mobile operator in Kenya. So I'm just interested, can you tell me a little bit about the market there, how competitive it is, and how you maintain that competitive advantage?
Yeah, so Kenya is a very competitive market. Safaricom is the leader in the market, but we have two other players, Airtel and Telecom Kenya. We have very, very good coverage within the whole of Kenya. Safaricom has more than 95% on 4G, 2G and 3G in terms of actual coverage on the network. And we accelerated the 4G coverage since COVID. So there has been a significant improvement in terms of coverage. Of course, we are the pioneer of M-Pesa. So we have 32 million customers who interact with us on a monthly basis, transacting $1 billion of transactions every day. So mobile money is well established, well embedded, actually the leading market. But from a connectivity perspective, we believe the job has been largely done. The job to be done now is to make sure that people are able to access the internet. And there are various barriers, access to mobile phones, knowledge around how to use the internet, fear about what happens if I go onto the internet, is it safe? Can I be able to use it? Especially for the rural, more older people and certain cohorts, especially women. So there's still a lot of work to be done to make sure that we connect everyone to the internet and we leave no one behind.
Okay, very interesting. I'm interested a bit about the mobile mix in Kenya. So from the stats I have of Safaricom users, about 40% of them are using 4G, about 15% on 3G, and then there's still quite a big 2G base, about 43%. So, and then your 5G is maybe ticked up to about 2% at the moment. So I'm just interested, what's the strategy there? Is 4G growth still a major target? And how do you move people, off their 2G feature phones and onto the better technologies?
Yeah. So we realized that coverage is one thing in terms of putting 4G network across the country, but actually being able to use the internet in a way that the user experience is good and in a way that does not leave anyone behind is the bigger problem. So we realized that only a third are now getting to 40% of our users are 4G, have 4G enabled phones, and therefore we have started a big piece of work to ensure that we can transition customers from 2G to 4G. We have a number of programs. One is what we call Lipa Mdogo Mdogo, which is pay little by little on the go, pay on the go to access a mobile phone. You pay about $3 or $4 as a deposit and another 30 US cents that includes your bundles. And you pay until you are able to acquire the phone. We have also seen that since we launched it, and we also partnered with Google, so that it has a locking mechanism that allows the user to use it when they are paying, and if they don't pay, we are able to lock it and unlock it. So that's very useful. The second thing we have seen is in the open markets, which sells a lot of 4G and 2G devices, we have seen a lot of interest in financiers who want to join the bandwagon in terms of enabling pay as you go. So it's starting to make big impact. We have achieved 1 million customers moving from 2 to 4G. We do a credit score that combines our GSM and also M-Pesa data. So we don't need traditional ways of looking at credit scoring. On the 2G customers, we realize that beyond the ability to afford, we realize there are other barriers. They tend to be more rural, lower socioeconomic, youth or women. So there's a lot of education that we need to have in terms of what's the benefit of being on the internet? How do we make sure you are not left behind? How do you enable you to be able to join the rest in this digital superhighway? So we've done a number of elements, reducing the cost of data, which is also another barrier to accessing the internet. Second, helping customers understand how to use the internet and the use cases for internet. Businesses, especially small businesses, ensuring that they actually don't have any fears, because there's a lot of fears about the internet and what it can do. And then the second thing is the connecting with our M-Pesa business, which is the mobile money business, enabling them access products they will not be able to access if they didn't have a 4G device. So there's a significant increase in number of people who are using the app, the super app, which has been developed on the M-Pesa side, which allows users, first of all, better user journey, access things, be able to access government services in an easier way. So the most important, we are a company that has been known for transforming lives. The most important is to ensure inclusion of our customers, ensure they are covered, ensure that the devices are affordable, but also that the data is affordable. But more importantly, they understand the use cases for internet.
Exactly. I think use cases, relevance for the market is so key to get those people to move across.
Yeah.
Then in terms of 5G, you launched, what, a year ago?
That's correct.
So how's that going? What kind of uptick are you seeing? And what kind of use cases for 5G are you seeing? For me, it's not really a consumer tech as much. It's more for the enterprise.
So for 5G around the world, many telcos have generally struggled to find use cases at the beginning, because as you say, most of the use cases for 5G are more industrial and more kind of B-scale. But actually we have felt that the initial use case that we could go after is fixed wireless, especially where we don't have fiber connection. In neighborhoods where we don't have fiber connection, 5G is actually an alternative. But coming back to the actual market, yes, we launched 5G about a year back. We were the first business in Kenya to launch 5G. We started with about 300 sites. We are adding another 700 to 1,000, and we'll increase that to closer to 2,000 in another 2 years. And that will allow us to be able to offer mobile connectivity on 5G. The biggest barrier has been number of users who have 5G enabled phones, and actually the cost of those 5G enabled phones. So there's about 500,000 users in Kenya in a market of 40 million, so it's still very early stage. Yeah. But secondly, we have realized that we need to put it in those areas. We can use big data and analytics to understand which areas we should continue to roll out 5G based on where the devices sit. We are starting to see also the cost of devices reduce, and the more they reduce, the more we know that there will be a lot of acceleration. But initial use case is as an alternative to fiber in fixed wireless, and certainly we've started to see a lot of customers starting to get interested in using 5G on the mobile side. We started to give some propositions that allow customers to understand 5G is available, but going forward we'll make it a lot more sophisticated as we go along. But the main effort is actually to make sure that people are on 4G.
Okay. I also want to ask you about Ethiopia. It's obviously a very exciting market. You guys launched there about a year ago as well. So what's the uptick been like there? What potential do you see, especially when it comes to mobile money and M-Pesa rollout? Okay.
So Ethiopia is a future play for us. It is for investing in the medium to long term. It will power the growth of Safaricom into the future as a geographical growth dimension. Ethiopia is the second largest country in Africa, 120 million people, many of them largely unconnected. So the GSM business is as important as the mobile money business. So we started by accelerating our rollout. We are currently at around 2,000 sites across the country. That is very good in the context of the period that we have been there. Some of it through asset sharing with the incumbent, but a lot of it through our own self-build. Then that allows us to start to recruit customers. So we passed the 5 million mark, and I'm sure as we announce our half-year results, we'll be talking about the latest progress on that. On mobile money, we switched on in terms of pilot of the mobile money business. We are still not done a full commercial launch. We are seeing initially very, very good and positive progress. However, we are still at a pilot stage on mobile money, so we will announce at a later stage when we are going to go full commercial launch. But certainly from a use case perspective, we are starting to see a lot of use cases for mobile money, like paying utilities, whether that's electricity or water, paying taxes. The incumbent is already doing that. So we believe that we can reflog. We don't have to go through the same journey that we went in other markets on mobile money. We can actually go into products that enable customers to access mobile money. But the first thing is get a network that works, be the best data network in Ethiopia, and then allow customers to access mobile money.
All right, well, while we're talking about mobile money, we know Kenya was the birthplace of mobile money with M-Pesa.
Yeah.
I'm just interested in your view of the evolution we've seen over the years, you know, from just being payments into all these other spaces. You mentioned some of it, you know, bill payments for business, all of those kind of things, loans. So what do you think is the next kind of thing that's going to be launched on mobile money? What's the next frontier?
Yes. So I think you're right. Mobile money has been very exciting, and we've discovered as we've gone along. Started with persons to persons, then payments. Payments is generally mature, especially on the consumer side, but we can do a lot more on the enterprise side. So bill payments and goods, buy goods till. Which now we have expanded to what we call transacting till. So a small business actually uses the till to pay salaries, to pay suppliers, to transfer to and from bank. So the ubiquity and the interoperability of mobile money is starting to become a lot more embedded. I think the next stage, and which is what we are driving, is really accelerating credit, ensuring that we deepen ability of credit to be accessed by individuals. We supported the government with something we call Hustler Fund, which is a low interest accessible credit for individuals. We are taking that to groups, which we have now launched, and going forward we will continue to improve that. But the bigger one on the credit side is on the enterprise side. We have just launched the merchant credit, and that one is still. We are still experiencing and starting to learn how it goes. But that's a much bigger opportunity, because today we have 650,000 small merchants who use Lipa na M-Pesa, which is pay with M-Pesa. So there's still a big opportunity. Of course, from a consumer perspective, there is a big opportunity on insurance, on savings, and also on wealth. So there's still a very big envelope to go after from completing the full financial services cycle, and then making it a lot more business than just consumer. So there's huge opportunity. On the technology side, we started to enable the app so that the consumer experience is great. And actually with the app, then you can make it a lot more interoperable. We can bring a new community that develops businesses and innovates around M-Pesa, because you have an app instead of the USSD, which is the SMS base. So there's still huge opportunity. And on the technology side, we have started using it to enable big sectors such as health, education, agriculture. We did some work for government on e-subsidy, which is how do you deliver subsidies for fertilizer to farmers by connecting everything between connectivity, M-Pesa payment, and actually a platform that allows farmers to be able to redeem their subsidies. So there is we can use it. We can use M-Pesa as the ecosystem that allows sectors to develop, because there's always a payment element, a savings component, a transfer component. So because it's so ubiquitous, it's so much easier, and then that's why it is so important to get everyone to access a smart device.
All right, well, it's great to see so much innovation, so much room for growth. So thanks very much. I think we're out of time, but thanks very much to Peter Ndegwa, the CEO of Safaricom.
Thank you, Paula. Great.